Reviews are in for the first day of Tucker Carlson trying to pretend that January 6th wasn't a horrendous attack on American democracy. Take a look at what some Republican politicians think about that.
It was a mistake, in my view, for Fox News to depict this in a way that's completely at variance with what our chief law enforcement official here at the Capitol thinks.
There were a lot of people in the Capitol at the time who I think were scared for their lives. So you can, however you want to describe it, but it was an attack on the Capitol.
I think that breaking through glass, windows, and doors to get into the United States Capitol against the orders of police is a crime.
The point is, what happened that day shouldn't have happened.
I think it's bull. I was down there, and I saw maybe a few tourists, a few people who got caught up in things, but when you see police barricades breached, when you see police officers assaulted, all of that, or you had to be in close proximity to it. If you were just a tourist, you should have probably lined up at the visitor center and came in on an orderly basis.
Yeah, lined up in front of the police barricades and then one by one in a safe fashion, bashed them down, beaten the cops half to death, and then stormed in. I guess that's how you should have done it. Anyway, you had Mitch McConnell, Senator Thune, Senator Tillis. You had a bunch of different people commenting on that. And I'm in this weird position where I guess I'm supposed to say like that they should get credit for that. They're only saying what's indisputably true. And I think that they're freed up a little bit, to be honest, because they were worried about being murdered that day. And they don't like the idea that that could have just been a test run for a more successful attempt to murder politicians in Congress. But they did at least call it like they saw it, like it actually is, JR. So credit to those Republicans, including Mitch McConnell.
Credit to those Republicans for seeing reality. This is the thing, though. So even these folks that are talking about, maybe if you were tourists that showed up at the Capitol on January 6th, you'd go through the normal processes of waiting in line, going through the tourist check-in center, having whatever appointment you've made, whatever the process is for being a tourist. They would have gone through that, not bashed the windows, as I think you pointed out. But the thing, though, is there were no tours, I don't think, being set on January 6th while they're in the Capitol doing the business of certifying the election. That's what's going on that day. That's why they chose it. And the pandemic, there was our limitations when it was a normal day and it wasn't the actual day when they're certifying an election. So the people who may have said, I was showing up there for a tourist visit, were you? Because the scene outside didn't feel like a tourist situation at all. If I go to the Natural History Museum because I want to go check out the new exhibit, and there's about 10,000, 20,000 angry people outside with MAGA flags and weapons and and gallows being hung and hammers and everything else that they had to break into that place and say we're gonna kill people, I have a feeling I'd be like, yeah, I think my tour is off for today because I'm not supposed to be here. This is not what I was here for. Yeah. I came for the tour that is non-existent. But once I see murderous folks outside, I feel like the tour just might be cut off.
Exactly, yeah. And if you were the weird group, one group, 6 people, a family loaded into the van or whatever and went there during a pandemic, during the certification, and you showed up and people are dragging cops into the crowd so they can try to murder them with their bare hands, maybe leave for the day. Maybe you don't continue. I've been, for instance, to Gen Con, great board game convention in Indianapolis. People get together, they play board games. If I walked in looking to play a game of Terraforming Mars and they were ripping the arms off of one of the people running the con, I'm gonna leave, play later. Maybe never play that game again, probably be traumatized. But anyway, so JR is everything that you said is right. But we don't have to play these games. It's obviously BS. It's obviously BS for reasons that are obvious. That's what it is. We understand. Anyone watching the show, you know exactly why they gave him the footage. You know why he's saying this stuff. You know why some Republican politicians are not going to attack Tucker Carlson for this. Even Republican politicians like, for instance, a Ron DeSantis or a Nikki Haley or a Mike Pompeo, who have every reason in the world to want to be, or incentive to be accurate about January 6th because they're running against the guy that led the damn thing. They are between a Trump and a hard place because they might want to criticize it, but thanks to people like Tucker Carlson, tens of millions of Republicans already believed 2 years ago that it wasn't a terrorist attack. And if you say, no, I mean, like, people died, they literally were killed, they were beaten to death, like people brought knives and guns and Molotov cocktails and all that, it doesn't matter how much evidence you have. They will hate you for that. These are inconvenient truths, and the right does not abide an inconvenient truth.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.